His report details the scientific rationale and practical formulation of a high-fat grain and seed mixture designed for elite long-distance racing pigeons, Columba livia domestica. It addresses the critical 3 to 5 day pre-basketing period where nutritional strategy shifts from maintenance to intensive energy loading. The primary objective is to maximize the storage of high-density energy in the form of lipids, which serve as the primary fuel source for sustained endurance flight. This document provides a detailed component analysis of optimal grains, their specific metabolic contributions, and a precise 1 kilogram formulation designed to enhance stamina, delay muscle fatigue, and improve race day performance. We will delve into the physiological mechanisms, including the pivotal glycogen-sparing effect that underpin the efficacy of this advanced feeding protocol. 1.0 Introduction: The energetic demands of long-distance avian athletes. The world of long-distance pigeon racing, with events frequently exceeding 500, 600, and even 700 miles, presents an extraordinary physiological challenge. The metabolic output required to sustain flight for 8, 12, or even 15 hours is immense, placing the racing pigeon among the most elite endurance athletes in the animal kingdom. While a standard racing diet, balanced in carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, is sufficient for maintenance, training, and shorter races, it is fundamentally inadequate for the extreme demands of long-distance competition. The final days leading up to basketing for a long-distance event are not a time for rest, but for a highly specialized form of metabolic conditioning. The aim is to transition the bird's primary accessible fuel source from carbohydrates, glycogen, to lipids, fats. This strategic nutritional manipulation is arguably one of the most critical factors separating consistent champions from the rest of the convoy. This report will provide the scientific foundation and a practical, repeatable formula for achieving this metabolic advantage. 2.0 The physiological paradigm: carbohydrates versus lipids for endurance flight. To appreciate the necessity of a high-fat finishing diet, one must first understand the avian energy systems during prolonged exertion. 2.1 The limitations of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the primary fuel for initial high-intensity efforts. They are stored in the muscles and liver as glycogen. At the start of a race, particularly during the initial climb and orientation, the pigeon's body heavily relies on these glycogen stores. However, these stores are finite and rapidly depleted. Studies have shown significant exhaustion of glycogen reserves after just a few hours of flight. Once glycogen levels fall, the bird must rely on other fuel sources. If insufficient alternatives are available, it will begin to catabolize protein from muscle tissue, leading to a loss of power, a dramatic decrease in speed, and a long, arduous recovery period upon return, if the bird returns at all. 2.2 The supremacy of lipids as an endurance fuel. Fat is the undisputed king of endurance fuel. Gram for gram, lipids provide more than double the energy of carbohydrates, approximately 9 kilocalories per gram for fat versus 4 kilocalories per gram for carbohydrates. Migratory birds, the ultimate endurance flyers, are physiologically specialized to accumulate and oxidize fatty acids at exceptionally high rates to sustain flight for days. By strategically increasing the fat content of the diet in the days immediately preceding a race, we encourage the pigeon to deposit this energy-dense fuel. These lipids are stored not only in adipose tissue, but also as intramuscular fat droplets within the red muscle fibers of the pectoral muscles, the primary engine of flight. 2.3 The glycogen-sparing effect. This is the cornerstone of the high-fat loading strategy. When the pigeon's metabolism is primed to burn fat, it preferentially utilizes lipids for energy during the majority of the flight. This spares the limited and vital muscle glycogen stores. This preserved glycogen can then be called upon for critical moments of high energy expenditure, such as navigating difficult weather, breaking away from the flock, or powering through the final, grueling miles to the home loft. Fanciers who master this technique send birds to the race with, metaphorically, 2 fuel tanks instead of 1. 3.0 Component analysis of an optimal high-fat finishing mixture. Not all fats are created equal. The selection of grains and seeds for this finishing mix is deliberate based on their fat content, fatty acid profile, palatability, and digestibility. The following grains are considered optimal for inclusion. 3.1. Hemp seed, Cannabis sativa. Nutritional profile. A powerhouse of nutrition. Hemp seed contains approximately 30 to 35% fat, 25 to 30% protein, and is rich in essential fatty acids. It boasts a near-perfect ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, which is crucial. Physiological rationale. Beyond its high energy value, the balanced omega profile has potent anti-inflammatory effects. This helps prepare the muscles for the impending exertion and can aid in post-race recovery. The high levels of all 9 essential amino acids also support muscle integrity. Hemp seed is highly palatable and is known to increase the body temperature slightly, a state fanciers refer to as hotting up, indicating a heightened metabolic state. 3.2. Safflower seed, Carthamus tinctorius. Nutritional profile. Comprising roughly 35 to 40% fat, 16 to 18% protein, and 25 to 30% carbohydrates. Physiological rationale. Safflower is a cornerstone of many fat-loading mixtures. Its high percentage of oleic and linoleic acids makes it an excellent source of sustained energy. It is highly sought after by pigeons, and its inclusion encourages the consumption of the entire mix. The combination of safflower with peanuts is considered a powerhouse blend by many top flyers. 3.3. Black sunflower seeds, Helianthus annuus. Nutritional profile. Black oil sunflower seeds are preferred over striped varieties due to a higher oil content, around 28 to 42%, and thinner shells. Physiological rationale. An excellent and cost-effective source of high-energy lipids and vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect cells from the oxidative stress generated during intense metabolic activity. While some fanciers use sunflower hearts to reduce waste, the full seed provides additional fiber and other nutrients. 3.4. Peanuts, Arachis hypogea. Nutritional profile. The undisputed champion of fat content. Raw skin-on peanuts can have up to 47% fat and 30% protein. Physiological rationale. Peanuts provide more than double the energy value of carbohydrates like corn or peas. They are a first-class fuel for the racing engine. Feeding raw, skin-on Spanish peanuts is often preferred due to their uniform size and high nutritional value. They are also digested relatively quickly and require less water in the crop compared to hard grains, which is an advantage in the confines of a transporter. 3.5. Linseed, flaxseed. Nutritional profile. Exceptionally high in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, with a fat content of 35 to 40%. Physiological rationale. The primary role of linseed is to improve the overall fatty acid profile of the diet. Omega-3s are crucial for cardiovascular health, membrane fluidity, and have anti-inflammatory properties. This contributes to both endurance and recovery. Linseed oil can be used to bind supplements to the feed, but the whole seed provides fiber and other nutrients. 3.6. Rapeseed, canola. Nutritional profile. Another oil-rich seed containing approximately 43% fat. Physiological rationale. Black rapeseed is a small, highly palatable seed that adds to the overall lipid diversity of the mix. Its inclusion ensures a broader spectrum of fatty acids is available for the bird's metabolism. 4.0. Formulation and practical application of a 1 kilogram high-fat concentrate. This mixture is not intended to be a complete diet. It is a concentrate to be added to the pigeon's regular feed or fed as a separate treat in the final days before a long-distance race. 4.2. Feeding Protocol, 3 to 5 days pre-basketing. Day 5 and 4 pre-race. Introduce the endurance fuel mix as 25 to 30% of the daily ration. The remaining 70 to 75% should be their standard high-carbohydrate racing mix. Day 3 and 2 pre-race, increase the endurance fuel portion to 50 to 60% of the daily ration. The pigeon should be visibly eager for these fatty seeds. Day of basketing, day 1, the morning meal should be light. In the afternoon, several hours before basketing to allow for drinking, provide a final feed that is 75 to 80% endurance fuel. Some fanciers will go as far as to offer peanuts ad libitum for this final meal. Crucial note, throughout this period, fresh, clean water is paramount. The metabolism of fat requires adequate hydration.
To face races 400 to 700 miles. Over 2 decades of dedicated research and hands-on experience in the world of elite avian athletics has afforded me a unique perspective on the intricate physiological mechanisms that separate a mere participant from a champion. While the heart of a pigeon is undeniably its most celebrated asset, the true engine of endurance, the very essence of its ability to conquer vast distances, lies within its remarkable capacity to metabolize fat. This report will move beyond anecdotal observations and delve into the rigorous biochemical and physiological principles that govern the use of lipids in the racing pigeon, Columba livia domestica. We will explore with scientific precision why fat is not just a component of the diet, but the cornerstone of peak performance. 1. Why fat matters: the bioenergetic superiority of lipids. To comprehend the champion pigeon, one must first appreciate its bioenergetics. Flight is the most energetically demanding form of locomotion in the animal kingdom. The metabolic rate of a pigeon in flight can be 10 to 15 times higher than at rest, a feat that requires a fuel source of unparalleled efficiency and density. 1.1. Fat as the premier energy substrate. While carbohydrates are a source of quick energy, they are a finite and cumbersome fuel. Stored as glycogen in the muscles and liver, carbohydrates bind with water, adding significant weight, a critical disadvantage for an aerial athlete. Lipids or fats, on the other hand, are stored anhydrously, without water, and are more chemically reduced, meaning they yield a significantly higher amount of energy upon oxidation. On a per-gram basis, fat provides more than double the energy of carbohydrates or proteins. For endurance flights, this is a non-negotiable biological advantage. The biochemical process is elegant in its efficiency. Fatty acids are broken down within the mitochondria of the muscle cells in a process called beta-oxidation, which feeds into the Krebs citric acid cycle and the electron transport chain to produce vast quantities of adenosine triphosphate, ATP, the universal energy currency of the cell. Research on homing pigeons has demonstrated a clear and rapid shift towards lipid utilization as the primary energy source within the first 1.5 to 2 hours of sustained flight. The ability to rapidly mobilize and oxidize fat is what allows a pigeon to sustain the relentless wing beat, averaging 5.5 times per second at cruising speed, for hours on end. 1.2. Fat distribution, from depot to muscle fiber. Understanding where fat is stored and how it is mobilized is critical. Pigeons store fat in discrete adipose depots within the body cavity, as well as directly within the muscle fibers themselves, a reserve known as intramuscular triacylglycerols, or IMTGs. During flight, hormonal signals trigger lipolysis, the breakdown of stored triglycerides in adipose tissue into free fatty acids and glycerol. These FFAs are then transported through the bloodstream, bound to albumin, to the powerful pectoral flight muscles. Recent research has highlighted the crucial role of fatty acid binding proteins, or FABPs, which facilitate the rapid transport of FFAs across muscle cell membranes and within the cell to the mitochondria. Migratory birds, the ultimate endurance athletes, have exceptionally high concentrations of these transport proteins. Furthermore, the IMTGs represent a readily available fuel source located in close proximity to the mitochondria, allowing for even quicker energy production. The strategic repletion of these IMTG stores through diet is a key factor in preparing a bird for a long-distance event. 2. Decoding fat ratios for peak performance, a symphony of fatty acids. The conversation must evolve beyond simply the quantity of fat to the quality and ratio of different fatty acids. Not all fats are created equal, and their specific molecular structures dictate their function in metabolism, cellular health, and inflammation. 2.1. The importance of balance, the omega-6 to omega-3 axis. The two most important families of polyunsaturated fatty acids, or PUFAs, are the omega-6 and omega-3 series. A typical grain-based diet for pigeons is naturally high in omega-6 fatty acids, found in seeds like safflower and sunflower. While essential, an overabundance of omega-6s can lead to a pro-inflammatory state in the body, as they are precursors to inflammatory mediators like prostaglandins and leukotrienes. Conversely, omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid or ALA from sources like linseed or flax, and its long-chain derivatives eicosahexapentanoic acid or EPA and dicosahexaenoic acid or DHA, have potent anti-inflammatory effects. Achieving a balanced ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 is paramount. An optimal ratio mitigates exercise-induced inflammation, reduces muscle soreness, and accelerates recovery. This balance is essential for both energy efficiency and flight stability, as chronic inflammation can impair muscle function and overall health. 2.2. Muscle fuel, high-intensity racing and myocellular integrity. For the high-intensity demands of racing, the right mix of fats is critical for muscle function. The composition of fatty acids in the diet directly influences the composition of muscle cell membranes, including the mitochondrial membranes where energy is produced. Some evidence suggests that a higher proportion of certain unsaturated fatty acids can increase membrane fluidity, potentially enhancing the function of metabolic proteins and enzymes embedded within them. The concept of natural doping has been proposed, suggesting that diets enriched in N3-PUFAs could enhance the oxidative capacity of flight muscles. While research in this specific area is ongoing and results have been mixed across different bird species, the underlying principle that dietary fatty acids can influence metabolic machinery at a cellular level is well established. The goal for the fancier is to provide a spectrum of fatty acids that supports both rapid transport and efficient oxidation to fuel the powerhouse pectoral muscles. 2.3. Feather health, lipids and aerodynamic efficiency. Adequate dietary fat is indispensable for maintaining a pristine, high-performance plumage. Feathers are the pigeon's flight suit, and their integrity is crucial for aerodynamic efficiency. While pigeons do not possess the uropygial or preen gland common to many other bird species, they still rely on lipids for feather health. Dietary fats and essential vitamins, like vitamin A, are crucial for healthy skin and feather growth. A deficiency in essential fatty acids can lead to dry, brittle feathers that are prone to breakage, compromising the bird's ability to generate lift and thrust efficiently. The fats are incorporated into the feather structure as it grows and contribute to its flexibility and durability. Furthermore, fat-soluble vitamins transported with dietary fats are essential cofactors in the complex biochemical pathways of feather synthesis. 2.4. Immune system support, a fortified defense. The stresses of training, transport, and competition can suppress a pigeon's immune system, leaving it vulnerable to pathogens. Optimal fat levels and, crucially, the right balance of fatty acids strengthen the immune system. As discussed, the anti-inflammatory properties of omega-3 fatty acids are key. By modulating the inflammatory response, omega-3s help the immune system react appropriately to challenges without overreacting, as seen in allergic conditions. A robust immune system is non-negotiable for a racing champion. It ensures the bird remains healthy throughout a grueling race season, recovers quickly from exertion, and can fend off the opportunistic infections that can derail a promising career. Dietary protein also plays a synergistic role here, as low protein levels have been shown to impair immune function in pigeons. 3. Diet strategies for optimized fat ratios. The fancier as a nutritionist. The theoretical knowledge of lipid metabolism must be translated into a practical, actionable feeding strategy. The modern fancier must be a scientist in their own loft, meticulously selecting and blending ingredients to achieve a desired physiological outcome. 3.1. choosing the right feed, and analysis of oleaginous seeds. The foundation of any high-performance diet is the strategic selection of grains and seeds with balanced and energy-dense profiles. Let's analyze the components of the endurance fuel formulation. Hemp seed, 20%, an exceptional ingredient. It provides a good source of high-quality protein and, critically, a desirable balance of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. Safflower seed, 20%, a core component, high in energy and very palatable. It is rich in omega-6 fatty acids, hence the need to balance it with omega-3 sources. Black sunflower, 15%. Another high-fat, high-energy seed. It is also an excellent source of the antioxidant vitamin E, which protects cells from oxidative stress during intense aerobic metabolism. Peanuts, raw, chopped, 15%, one of the most energy-dense options available, providing fuel for rapid digestion and utilization, particularly valuable for long-distance events. Linseed, flax, 10%, the primary source of the critical anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acid ALA in this mix. Its inclusion is non-negotiable for balancing the high omega-6 content of other seeds. Rapeseed, 10%, contributes to lipid diversity and palatability, providing a different fatty acid profile to round out the blend. Canary seed, 5%, and white millet, 5%, these add texture and easily digestible carbohydrates for balance. While fat is the primary fuel for endurance, a small amount of carbohydrate is needed, especially for the initial phases of flight and for sparing protein.
I'm an experienced ex-pigeon racer from England, and I can offer valuable insights and guidance on all aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to racing. During my racing days, I managed a small team of no more than 70 pigeons, including stock, young birds, and old birds. It was not uncommon for me to send as few as 6 birds to a race and still secure the top 3 positions out of up to 2,500 pigeons in my club and federation. My race distances typically ranged up to 300 miles, and I consistently achieved top 5 placements in my club. My expertise extends to the art of selecting excellent breeders, including evaluating pigeons based on their eye sign characteristics. I firmly believe that true champions can only be bred from top quality stock, and I can guide you in identifying and acquiring such pigeons. I understand that many pigeons for sale are advertised based on their lineage or pedigree, but I emphasize the importance of assessing the bird itself rather than relying solely on paperwork. As part of my offer, I invite you to share photos of your pigeons, including their eye sign and wing characteristics. I'll provide you with free advice on racing and breeding based on my extensive experience and knowledge. Additionally, I will share auction links to high-quality breeding birds that have the potential to produce winners in your loft. Here's what you can expect to receive from me. A comprehensive Word document containing valuable insights and strategies for successful pigeon racing, including specific racing methods for both old and young birds, as well as general advice. Private YouTube videos sent to your email, covering various aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to race preparation. Detailed recommendations on supplements and additives to add to your pigeons' drinking water, with scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness. Similar products are used by professional athletes and racehorses to enhance performance. Assurance that your pigeons will race home faster, provided that you have quality birds to begin with. While I can provide guidance, it's essential to start with pigeons of good genetic quality. Guidance on feeding schedules and methods, tailored from Sunday to Saturday, to optimize your pigeons' performance. The understanding that there are no big secrets or magical products that guarantee success in pigeon racing. Instead, success hinges on developing a racing system that suits your loft and pigeons. I'm committed to providing full support even after you receive this information, as I want to see you succeed in pigeon racing. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or need further assistance. Remember, the key to winning in pigeon racing lies in knowledge, dedication, and continuous improvement.